Hey, what's up, everybody? We are live here at Shred Studios, and I'm very excited to have our good friend Rocky Stubbs hanging out with us this afternoon. And we're going to go ahead and switch our view over so you can actually see what we're up to. And then Rocky is joining us live from Flagstars Tech Accelerator. So excited. He's actually, if you look around, there's Rocky. What's up, Rocky? How are you this afternoon, brother?
What's up, guys? How are you?
We're doing awesome. How about you? Sounds like there's a lot going on there.
Dude, this has been amazing. Turnout's been huge. A lot of people from certainly from Flagstar and from the fintechs that are part of the cohort, but there's just a great buzz in the community about this as well. And we ended up, the space where we actually put the incubator is in a place called Detroit Tech Town. And so the entire facility is full of other startups and incubators working on some very similar technologies, some blockchain, some AI stuff, but we're the only one specifically in financial services, and then further anyone also in the mortgage vertical. And so these guys are like celebrating our arrival as well. So
awesome.
yeah, and so so a bunch of them like left their offices and everything we were doing. It was standing room only here. I'll be honest, guys. I love that it's proving to be as big. This was not part of the script. Like, we didn't think it was going to be huge, but it's huge.
Well, so Rocky, real quick, for those who aren't aware of what you guys, I know we talked about it a little bit. For those we've got a whole bunch of people joining us live, so they're not aware of what Flagstar is doing with this tech incubator. Fill them in just a little bit on what's going on, what you guys are doing.
Yeah. So what we wanted to do was, we saw that there was a lot of emerging technology that was starting to come into. We've been complaining for a long time, right? Mortgage is a laggard, and a lot of the technology hasn't made it to our space. But a big part of that is just the nature of our business. There's a high wall and a deep moat, whether it's cost or regulation or all of these things. And the fact is that in order for some of these guys to be successful and make it through those early critical growth phases, they need partners. They need strong partners who will give them the guidance, the sandboxes to do their proof of concept, the things that they don't necessarily, they have good technology, but maybe need some help on the.
Oh, hold on, Rocky. We might have lost your sound. I don't know if we can still see you.
How about now?
No, we got you. Now we got you. We're good. Go ahead. Keep going.
All right. So this is Flagstar's. We wanted to move ourselves to the front lines on innovation. There's a lot of great lenders and collaborators doing similar things. This is our contribution to that. We wanted to say, hey, look, we're the 9th largest originator in the country. We know our way around the space. We happen to be a bank lender, which gives us some, unique capabilities in terms of, financing and, things we might be able to do to help startups and small businesses. So bringing all of those resources to bear here in context of the accelerator is what we want to do. So we kind of put an open call out there. Got over 24 applicants. We settled on 3 fintechs for this first cohort. They are Boost AI, a company called Brace, and then one that's probably most familiar to the market is Home Captain. And those are the 3 that we're going to be working with over the next 3 to 6 months, looking at their forward agenda and seeing how, in partnership with us, we can accelerate what they already plan to do, but also help them and say, hey, what would you do? What would you do differently now knowing you've got a partner with our resources? How might you change your strategy? How might you change your roadmap? And that was what came out of some of the working sessions today. So I was happy with what we saw when we got here. I'm blown away by what was put on the whiteboards today.
Gotcha. Now, what's happening today? What was today? Like, what was the event? Yeah. What was the purpose? What's happening today?
Sure. Yeah. So today is it's kind of a split day. So one, it's our official launch. So this is our, kind of launch to the public and to the media. We've got, a ton of representation from our industry and media. So, they're out here today. We're doing some live casts. So it's those kinds of things, just making sure that there's an awareness of what we're working on, mostly because we want it to grow from here and because we want other partners to join in. This is not meant to be Flagstar exclusive. Let me be clear about that. This is a collaboration. That's why we partnered with the FinTech Consortium. We wanted to get it started because you gotta be a mover. But as other lenders or vendors or other people want to get involved, contribute resources, be mentors, all of those things, our goal here is to work on things that are going to be beneficial to the entire industry, not just us. So it was a split day. That was the afternoon. In the morning, it was our first time all being in the same place. So, there was the application process and the vetting and the demos. We had a lot of conversations with them individually, but they didn't know each other, each of the, different fintechs. And so today was about, we spent a good couple of hours all together, talking about the industry, the evolution, kind of where things are heading, the commonalities and intersects between, their technologies. But then we broke out into each fintech specifically with our program team and the mentors and the people who will ultimately from Flagstar be accountable for, guiding and resourcing that roadmap. And we did a couple of hours with that. That's where some of the fire really started, burning. It was great.
So Rocky, expound on that a little bit more. So you have everybody there talking about the future of the industry. I mean, fintech is a buzzword within the entire industry. You have technology. Some loan officers get enamored by it. Technology to me is like, but honestly, I saw the iPhone 11 coming out and I geeked out a little bit, but I digress. But when it comes to the industry, what's really being talked about? What's the future of the industry looking like, especially when it comes to tech?
Yeah, cool. So here, it's an interesting thing. I was actually just speaking about this to the team here before. I think there's a misconception that because mortgage is, let's just say a late adopter, right? We just talk about how analog things still are, where some other financial industries have just made it a little bit further, a little bit faster, maybe less regulated, less expensive. There's like this misconception that in order for us to catch up, we have to start from the back and then take all of the years of catch up to do to somehow get to the present. And that's not true. That's not true. We can actually jump into a wormhole right from here and bypass years of, technologies and innovations and things that have been done and come out the other side at a very new and modern future. So we don't have to go 10 steps back to take our leap forward. And that's what we were talking about today. It's what is the leap forward? So, we're going to circumvent, I think, as an industry, a lot of technologies that have been winners for other industries over the last, decade or so. We're heading straight for tomorrow's tech. There wasn't actually a lot of talk. This is interesting. There wasn't a lot of talk about existing technology. Like, hey, we're going to do, the vendors that you would expect to see around and the products and services being offered. That's not what's on the roadmap. It's not more of the same. It's not even a spin on the same. It's forward-looking into new AI approaches. It's forward-looking into the blockchain. It's forward-looking into, kind of new methods and new modes of interaction with the customer that don't just fall into our omni-channel, like, hey, what we think of, text message, phone call, email, like all of those. There are some, people thinking about some things that are in none of those categories. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's not so that's what's really exciting, is that we're moving ahead to the very leading edge. And listen, guys, straight up, not all these are going to work out, right? I don't mean the ones right behind me. I think it happens to be in for this first cohort. This is a really good intersection, and they've got some more proof points. So I think we're going to see some really good stuff out of this first one. But we had some really deep interest in some stuff that I would say it's very just high beta stuff. It's like great concept. If it works, it'll be great, but there's a high chance that it won't, or that it's just too far ahead, for us to, we couldn't get the clients now, or no one's architecture is far enough developed to make use of it yet. So they're just living a little too far in the future. You hang on to the concept and let things evolve a little bit by another, not forever, but another year, 2 years, and then it might be right.
So I was going to ask, right, is there one in particular that you saw, one of these conceptual ideas or something that you're like, wow, like conceptually, that is like a really, really cool idea. It does need a little more time or it needs a little more thought. Is there one that really stood out to you that you're like, wow, that could be truly beneficial or truly like revolutionary to our industry?
Yes. And I hate to be so cloak and dagger about it, but that's my line, unfortunately, for this stuff, because it's NDA and
Yeah, of course.
some of the things. No, I appreciate the question, and I'm like biting my lip because, again, I'm excited. I would like to be able to share, but there are some of these guys that are, building in very quiet silos right
Yeah,
now,
of course.
with the intentions, because the once it's out, it's going to be hard for it to be proprietary.
Sure.
And once it's out, other people are going to get a hold of it, and that's fine, and that's good. And so these companies are thinking, it's like, hey, we're only going to have first mover advantage, and that has a burn down. So,
totally.
and I'm sorry, because I really do want to say, but
let me ask you this in a different way. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you with what you saw today?
Yeah, I'm blown away, man. I didn't. What I'm blown away by is one of the big challenges that we've had. So the techs that are here are quite creative as well. What I think I'm really impressed by is one of the biggest excuses for not moving on some of the innovative tech adoption has been legacy systems.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't do B because we haven't done A.
Yeah.
And that has been the lender's problem for a long time. It's like, well, that's your problem. You go figure it out, and then come back to us when you're ready. These guys, and I think some others, are now saying, okay, no, that's our problem now. Yeah. And they've built their technology in such a way that it can be agnostic in a lot of ways to the clunkiness of the other systems, which made it, 2 years ago, that wouldn't have been the case, perhaps not even a year ago. But what I'm seeing now out of the way the architecture is, they're like, yeah, we can deal with your piece of garbage. That's fine. Yeah, like we can, and not in like a bolt-on patchworks kind of way. We're like, we are built in a way to digest that and still deliver value without you having to have, have an LOS transition and like rip out the guts of the entire thing.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to tell everyone, if for anyone that doesn't know who Rocky is, maybe this is the first time seeing him or whatnot, but if Rocky says something is like blown away or level 10 or 20 out of 10, we need to take that to heart, because Rocky truly is one of the top tech leaders in our industry. And so, to me, hearing that from you and, with my background, I'm excited to learn more. I'm excited to keep prodding you so you can kind of give me a little behind the scenes that I won't talk about. I promise. I won't.
The compliment is much too kind, but if anything, it's just that I think for everybody watching, what Jason's trying to say nicely is that I'm cynical and I could be a jerk sometimes.
Well, we weren't trying to go. All right, we'll go with that. So.
Like, hey, we have this really cool. Yeah. So, but no, I mean, listen, it's just great to, I think, finally be at that place, and I'm glad, and you guys are big on this, which is why I'm grateful for the industry. What you're doing is amazing. Which we need more of this. It's like 99% of what we're working on, we can work on together. Yep, they're common problems. They're for the benefit of the customer. They're going to help us all, reduce costs, make this thing more efficient. It's all good. And everybody's welcome to keep their ace in the hole, right? That last 1%, that's like, hey, this is our competitive advantage for the next 2 years. It's fine. Like, there's nothing about that. But let's not let that 1% be the thing that prevents us from working together on 99%. And it's gotten so much better. The last 18 months, I'm very proud of what we've achieved as an industry. I think we're much more collaborative, but we have a way to go, and it takes more, like what you guys are doing. I think we need more glue in the system. You guys are standing in the gaps for us, right? Because we're all working on our own things, and you guys are helping bridge that for us. So I appreciate that. I know a lot of others do.
Well, thanks, man. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And so one thing I want to ask in regards to all this tech is timeline-wise. I know you mentioned some of it's still conceptual, some of it still needs to be worked on, but a lot of these exciting things, we've seen a lot of tech. Jason and I have been very fortunate to see a lot of these things, and you see a lot more than even we do, but some of these things like that I have seen, especially conceptually, like, well, that's still a ways out. But it sounds like some of these things that you're talking about, like, this is right around the road, and which is great for us as originators coming from those in the trenches. Like, it's absolutely needed. You mentioned those companies who haven't been willing to adapt and to adjust, and now they're almost behind the 8 ball. And they're like, shit, we got to scramble to even get there now. Timeline wise, when do you think we'll start to see some of these come to fruition?
For sure. No, it's a great question. So I think that we need to have meaningful thought work, like at all, just to forget what that means, but I would say near term, medium term, long term. Like we need to be thinking about that and placing, some bets in each of those buckets. For us, for right now, specifically for the Flagstar, the Mortgage Tech Accelerator, we wanted the first cohort to be all near-term technologies. Okay. It was part of our filtering mechanism for a couple of reasons. Right, one was just that if let's say we pick 3 long-term tech, you get to the end of the accelerator at 6 months, and you're like, well, you don't have anything to talk about, or you don't have anything to deliver. And so we wanted the first one to focus exclusively on short terms, so we can demonstrate the value of the program. And hopefully that will be compelling to other lenders and to other players in the mortgage vertical to say, wow, this works, right? Flagstar benefited from, doing this kind of work, and then the industry benefited from that work having been done. So so all 3 of these guys are near term. What I call near term is within 6 months. Right. Nice. So, all of them are already doing something. It doesn't mean we're going to solve the world's problems in 6 months by any stretch. We easily put together, just on our whiteboard today, there's easily 3 years worth of work on that. But we'll have something to talk about for each of these companies in 6 months' time, and say, we were here and now we're here. And hopefully that here is, and this is available to everyone. And what we're working on is like, it's not just, hey, this is part of our secret sauce. This is, they are open for business for this product, for this technology, and you guys can all come and have it too. And so we'll do that. I think as we mature, a couple of years down the road, if it is that long, I think it would be very wise and very fun to take on medium and long-term things. I would love to bring to you guys, because I don't mind failure, right? It's just part of innovation. I would love to tell you, hey, we're taking a risk on, 2 tech companies that are just, it's out there. Yeah, and if it works, it's awesome. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. We're gonna learn some stuff and move on.
Yeah. So we're excited to be able to, we'd love to schedule a time to meet the fintech firms that you have going, working with you, and
sure,
talk to them and have them talk a little bit about what they're doing.
Well, you guys let me know what you'd like to do. They are all here, and I can plug them into you for a quick hello.
Oh yeah, let's do this.
I say if they're there and they've got a couple of quick minutes, let's do it.
All right, we can make it happen. Let's here, we'll go around. We'll meet some people. There's Christy Furco.
Hey, Christy, WCA boys, big fans of Christy. What's up, Christy?
Paul Orlando. Let's see. We got all kinds of cool people. Hey, where's Grant? I'll start with Grant.
2018.
So, guys, if you're just joining us live, we are live with Rocky Stubbs, who is the head digital lending at Flagstar Bank, and they're at the Tech Incubator meeting together, talking about some of the things that are coming up in the fintech world. And Rocky is now just finding and gathering the 3 tech companies that they've chosen to be part of this incubator. So really exciting stuff. So if you're just joining us right now, I'd love the different hashtag in here today. Typically, I would say hashtag Fred or hashtag hustle. But if you're joining us live, we're talking about tech today. So comment hashtag tech.
Can you do an interview with me?
Tech in the mortgage and real estate industry right now. And Rocky is bringing us live to the Flagstars Bank Tech Accelerator. Is that what we call it? Tech Accelerator. So, Rocky, so introduce to us who you have here.
All right, this is my buddy Eric. Right, so Eric is the CEO over at Brace. And Brace is one of the firms that's participating in our first cohort. They have a really unique technology that they've built for on the servicing side. This is on the loan modification side. But I'm going to plug him in. I'm going to let him wear the headphones so you can hear him better.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll hold this. Great. You guys
it
hear
was
me?
Eric, right?
Yes, Eric. How are you?
Eric, how are you today?
I am good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. We can't hear you the best. I don't know if we lost some type of audio.
Let me see if I can put this down real quick. The audio's bad. Is there a way to? should we do it real quick?
Oop.
Oh, we might. Oh, he's got the Beats headphones, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that Rocky is sporting the Beats today. So,
It kind of goes in and out.
oh, there you go, Rocky. There.
Yeah, I'm here, guys. Just give me
Oh, now we're good.
That's
Now
better.
we're back.
That's better.
Maybe we lost video, but we have audio.
Yeah, we have audio.
So again, those who are just hanging out with us, we have Rocky Stubbs with Flagstar Bank. Oh, there they
All
are.
right, are we back? Are we back?
Yep, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, perfect audio.
Can you hear
too.
me?
Audio's great.
Cool.
Yep,
Perfect.
gotcha.
All right.
All right, guys.
Hey, Eric, turn the headphones around.
All right.
Let's try this way. Is that better?
Way
perfect,
better. There you go.
perfect.
That's perfect. All
There we
right.
go.
All right,
Technology.
Eric, so now you're just joining us the first time we've met you. So tell us a little bit about you and the company you're with.
Absolutely. So I'm the CEO of Brace. We are a mortgage servicing platform. What we do right now, what we went to market with, what we're partnering with Flagstar on, is servicing technology in the default space. So what we have is an application for borrowers to access through their servicer or Flagstar. And it would allow them to really redefine and rethink how they're going to if they have hardship. So if they can't pay their mortgage payment, so whether that be they're going through an unemployment or they are going through a divorce or even a disaster, oftentimes, what happens when their home's no longer existing if a hurricane affected it. So we built a borrower platform, we built a servicer platform that the servicer can do work in, and then an investor platform. We work across investors, so Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or FHA VA or a private investor that owns your loan. We work with them. And what we do here is streamline that whole approach. So from a borrower's perspective, they have a place. We've noticed that oftentimes borrowers don't want to talk to a call center agent if they're going through a hardship. So we allow them to go through a digital channel and we collect that information. We also have these natural integrations here that we built in for pay stubs, for bank accounts. We can pull expenses and assets seamlessly and allow you to do this fully digitally. And it allows for Flagstar to really see that workflow automation.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how now, Brace? What is the history of the company? When did you guys start? And have you started with this in mind, or did you start as something else and kind of pivot to this?
No.
Give us a little history.
Yeah, so the thesis here was when you see servicing, it's been really left behind. Technology, innovation, and fintech has really been focused around, when you talk about mortgage, it's focused around origination.
Yeah.
Lots of variables, we can talk at length on that. But really it's because origination sees all the revenue. Servicing, you're looking at black and green screens, and you're not looking at any sophistication whatsoever. And so what we did here was we started in 2017, identified that really servicers, when you talk to a lot of the executives, they're not happy with their existing tech stack. And so real big need. And also, what happens here, we know where we are in this economy cycle, and what happens if there is a spike in delinquency. We're at lows right now, so we can work with and think creatively about these situations. But you can't do something when you're in the heart of the storm. So we really wanted to get in front of this and make sure that we're first going to solve the default space. So we're first going to solve loss mitigation, they call it bankruptcy and foreclosure, and then ultimately would make our way to really providing sophisticated software for the rest of the ecosystem in mortgage servicing.
Gotcha. And then how long ago did you start?
We started about 2 years ago now.
Okay.
Late 2017, raised about close to $5 million of venture funding from institutional capital from all over the country, and have been building a team ever since.
Nice. Hey, is your background in mortgage, or what's your background in?
No, my background is actually, out of school, I was an investment banker at a fintech investment bank called FT Partners, and then spent about a few years at Industry Ventures, which is a little over $3 billion venture fund. Wow. And then most recently, Propel Ventures, which was a BBVA spin out. BBVA being the bank, spun an investment group out. At which point I was an investor there. And that's where the whole thesis and the ideation came here, which was really just talking to banking executives and understanding there's a real pain not only on the banking side, and then waking up and realizing that consumers also have this pain. And how do you solve both the pain and realizing that everyone actually is benefiting from keeping borrowers in their home, making sure that loss mitigation strategies work. So all the interests are aligned. We're just building technology. We just build a technology platform to facilitate that.
That's awesome. Going from, I mean, a very cool background to now doing your own thing, basically taking everything, little bits and pieces of what you've learned along the way, and now doing your very own thing. So CEO of Brace, is that Brace?
Yes, Brace. That's right.
CEO of Brace, guys. Eric, thanks so much for joining us for a few minutes.
Thank
this
you.
afternoon. Really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing your future success within the fintech industry.
Yeah, we're gonna keep tabs. So we'll talk again.
I love that. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Eric. So very cool guy. I mean, there's one more company that you can see doing some great things. Great to meet Eric. And this is the kind of the fun stuff that Jason and I get to do is we have incredible contacts like Rocky throughout the industry. And when we get opportunities to meet some of these new fintech companies and see some of the new technologies coming out, we want to get them out to you guys so you can see them as well. So Rocky, who do you have next on the agenda? Who are we going to talk to next?
Next is my brother from another mother. This is Grant Moon. He's the CEO of Home Captain, probably the best, most well-known in our industry because they're already so active in this vertical. And, I'll let him, of course, share for those who don't know them and should. But, even a little bit, one of the reasons why we selected them, besides the fact, they've got an amazing product, an amazing leadership team, super heavy veteran team as well for everybody who's, working so hard on the awareness campaign with the, 22. And so anyway, I wanted to just tee them up for you. Part of the reason why we decided to work with them was not just because of what they've proven they can accomplish, it's how ambitious their roadmap is, and what comes next. And so, some of those Grant may be able to speak about today, but I got to say, they're really, kind of pushing the envelope here. So I'm going to pop it over to Grant.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks, Rocky. How you
What's
doing?
up, Grant? How are you? Grant, right?
Yes, Grant. How are you?
What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
And you are
Good.
the CEO of it's Home Captain, correct?
Home Captain, yeah.
Dude, so I've heard about Home Captain. I've heard some of the things you guys are doing are pretty exciting. But for those who are joining us who don't know anything about Home Captain, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about Home Captain.
Yeah, so we consider ourselves a conversion optimization system, and that means a lot of different things to a lot of people, right? Because conversion is always changing, and for every lending institution, that's a little bit different. But some of the core components that we have for lenders today is essentially we are able to take the customer, match them to a pre-screened agent through an algorithm match that we scorecard. So we have 32,000 agents within our network, and essentially we're able to then take the customer and shepherd them to a close. And because of that, on a purchase conversion, as you probably know, or many of the listeners know as well, it's a little bit more problematic. There's a lot more nodes to that overall journey. You have a real estate agent, and you have an incubation period, which is challenging for the industry. So we take all of that out of the equation and do it for our lender partners today, along with the customer service aspect as well, and manage the customer service associated with an actual happy customer throughout their home buying experience, what type of experience they're having with the lending institution, making sure that the lending institution has all of the data around the home buying journey as well, and bringing that to a successful close and a successful pull through. So,
Dang.
yeah,
Dude.
so that's kind of the big portion of how we grew up in the industry, is being able to do that and manage that and drive higher funding rates for our lender partners.
Dude, that's way cool. So I've got to ask this. I mean, you're managing the customer service relationship side of it. So how are you doing? Because we're in a relationship business. So how are you able to help manage that and still keep it human with the interaction of the loan officer or the loan professional?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we have a home buying concierge team, dominantly in military spouses. So that was one of the things that, coming up within our story was, that a lot of our leadership team, most of our leadership team are military veterans.
Wow.
And we've always seen, especially when we are on active duty and things like that, we saw that military spouses didn't necessarily have access to jobs, because if you are 30, 50, 100 miles outside of Oklahoma in Fort Sill, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
it's tough for a spouse to get a job other than maybe the military mall or some card or something like that. Nothing against those type of jobs, but you know, a lot of them are pretty talented, pretty educated, and they want to have a career in their life, and you know, we allow for that. So we have a home buying concierge team that essentially helps our lenders shepherd that throughout the journey. That's really the human experience, right? And we're almost like you know, a party that doesn't have a dog in the fight, right? There's the lending side, there's the real estate side. So that's a big one. And you know, as we continued going after 2015, there was different components of the journey that we felt were really important. So like one of the big portions of the journey that we just started rolling out is we have nationwide MLS aggregation that we also white label for the lending institution as well.
Nice.
So that keeps the customers engaged. They can actually see various different homes that they afford within their area. And you don't have kind of the noise associated with Zillow and Zillow Mortgage and things like that, which the lending institutions love. And last but not least, and this has been something that we are focusing very heavily as part of this program with Flagstar, is you know, I like to say we were doing text message before text message was cool, right?
Nice.
And in doing that, we have a number of different text streams that we've developed into artificial intelligence if-then statements. So all artificial intelligence is if this response, serve up this response, if this response, serve up this response, right? So we have some pretty big decision trees associated with the home buying journey now, and being able to consume massive amounts of data for lenders and then get them back those customers that either fell out of pipeline or say MLS and credit triggers that are coming to lending institutions to the tune of, you know, tens of thousands, us being able to consume that, to get through a lot of those records, to actually have conversations with potential borrowers and be able to serve that right back to the lending institution. All of that, those three things that I encapsulated right there, the human element, the MLS, and the artificial intelligence side, is what we believe comprises Home Captain and what we call a conversion optimization system.
Wow. That is impressive, man. That is very exciting stuff. And like I said, I had heard about you guys prior to this, so it's really exciting to see what you guys are doing. And honestly, the veteran side, that veteran part of it, I know to some people they may be like, but that's really cool. So are you a veteran yourself, Grant?
I am, yeah. I served in Iraq in 2007, 2008. I was Army Major and stayed in the reserves as well. But also to our president, Alex was part of the 82nd Airborne. Our product manager, Tori, she was in the Navy. So, yeah, so it's kind of an affinity we have. Like anything that you probably see in any institution, right? Having like cultural fit is always one of the big things that are incredibly important. And something that we've always found is that, you know, that the military, the veteran community, the military spouse community, you know, already comes with that element of the culture already ingrained, a culture of service, culture of commitment and giving back has always been important.
Very, dude. Thank you so much for your service, for your entire team. So very cool to hear stories like that. We've been participating in the 22 kilo challenge, the 22 push-ups, the 22. So big shout out to you and the entire team. Again, for all you guys have done and sacrificed. But going back to Home Captain, this is something that's very exciting for all originators, something that can help us, those who are in the trenches, really grow their business. So we really appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your busy day, really telling forward more about you guys. And we're excited. We're definitely one of those companies we're keeping an eye on, because you guys are on this really big stuff. So thanks so much for hanging out with me this afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Grateful for the time, and thank you, gentlemen.
You bet. Absolutely. Thanks, Grant.
Yeah. Let me. I'll grab Rocky again.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. This is some super exciting tech. That's one of those in my mind where you hear about, you know, customer service and being able to help out with that, and how he explained it. I was kind of nervous when he first said that, like, oh, you know, taking over the customer service experience, like. But I mean, they kind of have all those three pieces that he talked about. He really does have it nailed down. It's like super exciting. Rocky, I'll tell you what, just out of these last two, those are some pretty impressive tech already. That Home Captain, I'm really excited to see more about.
Yeah, they're going to do some amazing stuff. I just tried to track down our guy from Boost AI. He had to run to grab a plane, so I'll give you.
Hey, Rocky, turn your headphones around. They're backwards if I can't hear you.
Yeah, turn your headphones around.
How about now?
Now I got
There
it.
we
Perfect.
go.
Oh shit! All right, who knew?
Oh, so the guy from Boost
Boost had
can't.
to go. Boost had to go grab a plane. I'll give you the preview. He'll have to give it
Perfect.
to you kind of in a better way. But
Yep.
so Boost is a Nordic-based company. They've been working for a while, last I think 7 years, out of Norway and primarily in Europe. They have a really incredible AI technology that's focused on natural language processing and natural language understanding. And have done a lot outside of the U.S. They're brand new to the U.S. They've only been here like 8 months. They have absolutely nothing going on in the mortgage vertical. They know that there's value here, like major value for what they've built. But they saw, again, the same thing. They saw our wall, they saw our moat, and they're like, there's no way we can, we got to just take on other things. Easier stuff in a way. Just saying you can't start with mortgage until you have this kind of an operation where you're marrying up people like us who are very comfortable here, where they're not, and we can blend those two things together. So it's like we see the value and the power of your technology, and we will navigate all the sticky, thorny, complicated stuff, and help you get live with your tech in the mortgage space. And yeah, I mean, it's got really, really broad applicability. Not surprising. We demoed some stuff. We challenged some stuff, right? That's where it really gets kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because you're like, all right, well, can it understand this?
Yeah.
You make up this really dumb thing and see how it handles it, and it's impressive.
That's awesome, man.
They know what they're doing. Their developers. Sorry, this is new information to me. Some a bunch of smarter people than me who watch the show. But there's a thing in AI called the Kaggle Awards. Kaggle, like exercises.
Yeah.
And I'm told that this is like the Academy Awards of AI. Wow. Anybody in the space who's hearing this will recognize it and know that to be true. He is a 3-time Kaggle Award winner, grandmaster, which again to us sounds like okay, is that something great? But I pulse checked that with people smarter than me. They were like, oh wow,
dude,
that's a big deal.
Well, and what's exciting too is to see tech companies coming in from outside of the industry. Jason and I, we talk about this a lot. A lot of the marketing and the things that we look at are definitely outside of the industry. So seeing some tech companies come in to bring some new ideas, some new thoughts, that's exciting to us. Yeah. So, man, tell you what, Rocky, super exciting. Is there anybody else you want to talk to?
No, I think that's good, guys. We're grateful for the time. We appreciate it. I think that's the lay of the land. The next thing, which again, I would love to keep talking to you guys about is, how the thing is progressing, really how the cohort wraps up. At that point, we'll be able to be very public of, Absolutely. This is what we tried to do. This is how we did. We're going to aim for success, but I think anything that's ambitious enough, I'll probably butcher the quote, but something along the lines of a goal properly set is half achieved. Right.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
And so we have some stuff that we think is very, very possible, but we have some big hags in here, right? We're gonna chase down some stuff that, if it works, we'll be very proud of, and if it doesn't, we'll learn some stuff, and we want to bring all of that to bear, because I think there's value in sharing the great results. Here's what you can use and all of that, but there's also value in a knowledge bank of shit that just doesn't work. Absolutely. Right? And why? It's like, hey, here, we tried this. Here was the roadblock. We didn't see a way around it. Maybe one of you do. Maybe somebody else does. And so let's learn from each other's successes, but let's be willing, maybe, and humble enough to learn from each other's failures and say, hey, we can do this, but it's going to take time, and we're going to have to help each other a bit.
I love it. Super exciting stuff. Rocky, thanks so much for taking some time out of your busy day. And we're excited to keep tabs on you and everything that's going on with the incubator, because, you left us that's a cliffhanger, a teaser there with some of the big tech stuff that's coming out. So we're excited to keep in touch and see as things progress. Everybody continues to learn. So thanks.
I assume I'll see you guys at Digital. Are you guys going to Vegas and doing digital mortgages?
Not digital.
We'll probably won't be digital. Maybe we'll think about that one. So, but we appreciate you being with us, and hopefully we will see you again soon, whether it's digital or wherever it is. But thanks so much for taking time out of your day.
I'll see you out there, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks, brother. Guys, thanks so much to Rocky showing up and hanging out with us for a little while this afternoon. As you guys can see, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that really is exciting stuff. So I'm going to kick Rocky out of here now. So I'm going to take us, there we go solo here. We're going to go ahead and kick Rocky out so we can't hear him because he's still got his headphones on. But with that, guys, really exciting stuff from the tech world. Appreciate Rocky taking a few minutes out of his day to hang out with us. We appreciate you guys jumping in and hanging out with us as well. Had a lot of people jump on live. So thanks so much, as always, joining us. We appreciate it. And we're going to continue to try to do all that we can to bring stuff like this, stuff that's different to the industry, showing you guys different things, not just all about talking about originating all the time. Earlier today, we were talking about GSE and how that's going to be affecting your business. Now we're talking about tech. So we want to be able to bring anything and everything that's going to help you build and grow your business and become truly the master of your craft. So with that, guys, Jason, you got anything else?
No, that's it. The cool thing is that we're, talking with Rocky, we're definitely going to be ones to keep tabs on that. We're going to be able to, bring this information to you first.
Yep.
Just because, just because of our relationship and the fact that, our or at least my background in tech, Rocky and I have, we have a lot of synergy between that, and so I'm super excited about this accelerator. So we look forward to diving in deep to this and giving you guys the information so you can look at these products and decide if it's something that you guys want to look at before everything gets rocking for them.
100%. So thanks again, guys, for joining us this afternoon. Again, if you're joining us live, make sure you comment hashtag shred. I think we said comment hashtag tech, and then if you're joining us on the replay, of course, always comment hashtag hustle because you're out there hustling, making it happen. But we appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of the afternoon, and we'll see you guys soon. Should be muted, but we never really know, so don't say anything.